So BattleTech is tactical combat. Turn-based, you're controlling a lance of mechs and moving them around and trying to get position and get good angled shots and stuff like that. Really good for like the thinking man stuff. It's an excellent, excellent game. And I love the digital adaptation here, which was built by Harebrained Schemes. It was published by Paradox. Man, it's really warm down here. Hold on, I'm gonna take off my long sleeve shirt. And one of the things I said with it is I hope that Harebrained Scheme sort of take the Paradox model for this, because this is a game where, you know, 5 years from now, we could be on our 10th expansion that keeps advancing the timeline and changing things. Like, I want that, especially since this game was set in, yeah, I think 3028. I think I'm vaguely right about that. And it could advance, and each time you sort of advance the timeline, you reintroduce new types of mechs, new types of components that you can add. Like, just give me more of this, which is really good. Currently, they have 3 expansions planned. Flashpoint has come out, Urban Warfare comes out this summer, and then some 3rd expansion out there. And officially, the game did not support modding, and there were various legal reasons why BattleTech, there's just all this bullshit with like copyright with different companies, these stupid lawsuits that have been going back for like 20, 30 years. So for that reason, they officially couldn't support modding because people might mod in certain copyrighted mechs that it's not even worth getting into. It's so stupid. It's mostly resolved now, which is good. However, it turns out the game is like trivial to mod. And people have made amazing, amazing things with it, including the sort of primo mega mod is probably Rogue Tech, but I find it's really slow, so I'm not running it right now. But we are going to be starting a new one. As of patch 1.3, official patch 1.3, there's a new career mode. So there's a campaign with a storyline and all that, but then there's this career mode, which is a little bit more open-y, sandboxy kind of stuff. You can do your own thing, which is really cool. And the Flashpoint expansion adds some new type of missions as well, which is really good. Would it be wiser to take the PDX model opposed to making a BattleTech 2 in your opinion? Can I think so? I mean, so if you're going from BattleTech to BattleTech 2, I mean, you could, but are they gonna, like, to me, if you're going to go to a new version number, to me that implies, okay, you needed a whole new engine that sort of starts from scratch, and you need to make some big inherent changes to the base game. And honestly, you know, maybe BattleTech could use it. Maybe it makes more sense. Maybe, you know, they put out their 3 expansions for BattleTech, then they come out with BattleTech 2 that's just got a slicker sort of engine, a little more efficient, and then again, it's like, you know, a bunch of different things. But the core, the basics of this isn't bad, and I just want more stuff for it. So, you know, how's the right way to go? I don't know. I guess it depends on what kind of ideas they have either for expansions or for a sequel. When you do start a mission here in career mode, you've got a few ways to like tune the difficulty, how many parts to put together a mech, the mechs you get, are they unequipped, are you gonna have iron mode turned on, and all those. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave all these settings on default here. However, most of these things, or several of these things, have actually been modified by the mods I've got installed. So this like unequipped mech thing mechanic is gonna work quite differently and different things like that. So these settings don't really mean whatever. I might turn off Iron Man mode here, just for the purpose of our recordings, because if we end things sort of halfway through a battle, we might want to do a manual save at that point. Otherwise, Iron Man mode takes you back to the start of the mission. So I think we'll just go ahead and get it started. Does this game have a mech Jeb? Well, it has a mech lab. Maybe we should call her first Mech Warrior Jeb. Just, you know, just as kind of a Kerbal-y kind of thing. Maybe. I kind of like that idea. I don't know. Any plans to revisit the Belgian Bruisers Mech and Mega Mech? I've actually been looking at, I just recently reinstalled and reset that up because it's been scratching. There's been that itch that's been going around. So in character mode here, we're going to be creating our original character. You can choose your origin. This might affect where you start in the world. I don't know. I don't really care too much. And you got a background history here, and then what you did afterwards. These give you various points on your default setup, but it's not really a big deal. I guess I'll leave what these are. They're really not that important for what we're doing. But we'll make ourselves be Quill. And I don't know, my beard's been getting pretty long. Maybe I should go for one of these right now. There you go. Oh, there we go. That's me. Sort of dwarfy Quill over here. All right. You should talk to your doctor if you have an itch that's going around. That's not a bad thing. Mercenary career. So if you've never played the game before, you definitely go through the campaign first. The campaign has got an interesting story, and because of how things happen in the campaign, it's a little bit easier because you get when you do the story missions, you tend to get rewarded with a fair amount of cash and usually some cool unique mechs and things like that. The career mode's a little bit more difficult, but other than that, it's free form. It does have the scoring system here. You start with 1,200 days to play, and then it gives you a score at that point. That's, you know, to just compare stuff. As far as I know, the game does not actually end after 1,200 days. It's just, you know, so you can see how well you did. You get bonus points for you know, visiting all the star systems, collecting every mech out there. I don't know how that works with the fact that I've got a bunch of mods that add 1 million new mechs in here, so I don't know how the scoring system is necessarily going to carry over, but we'll see. Jebediah should be the first pilot. I kind of agree. So we're going to go into our barracks here, take a look at our mech warriors. I mean, there's going to be Quill, which is going to be okay. We're going to rename you. Look, there's an amazing mutton chop here. So you're going to be Jebediah. Right over there. I won't bother changing their names. We'll just go with the call signs. Then maybe I'll pull some subscriber names from chat over here. So instead of High Voltage, we're going to have Kane. Kane is going to be in here. Instead of Mako, we're going to have Daniel Dansku. I mean, I'm just going to call you Dansku. All right? That's cool. Dansku over here. And Pigpen has to be renamed to Nallard. All right, welcome to the Lance. We'll be recruiting some more people as we go as well, but these are going to be our first 5 mech warriors. A Lance, the typical organization of like a group of battle mechs is 4. So we're going to be deploying 4 people on any given mission. Unless we get really desperate, we might do a 3-person mission if things have been damaged or something like that. So we got some money. If you do go bankrupt at the end of the month, every 30 days, you got to pay off like various maintenance as well as salaries for your mech warriors. If ever you go negative at the end of the month, you go bankrupt and you lose the game in career mode. So we have to manage our funds a fair bit. We've got our mech bay over here, so what are we starting with? I think this is relatively fixed. We're starting with a Vindicator, which I keep calling Vindicar for some reason. A Vindicator, 45-ton mech. This is going to be a big bad boy. It's a medium mech. It's the only medium mech that we've got at the start. We've got a Jenner here. Now, this Jenner that it starts you off with in career mode is super duper, like, runs way too hot. If it fires all of its weapon, it's going to generate 56 points of heat, and it only sinks 30 points of heat per turn. So it's going to have a lot of, like, dead turns. It also generates a bunch of heat whenever it jumps around and things like that. So we're probably... In fact, what I'm going to do right away is we're going to go and redesign the mechs. And by the way, if you haven't played BattleTech before... Oh, these are the sexy screens, baby. Every battle mech you have in here, you can go and tune the crap out of it and make all kinds of different modifications. Even there can be different variations. So this is a Jenner JR7-D. There may be other variants of the Jenners out there that have different sort of hard points, right? This one's got a total of 4 hard points for energy weapons, so it's 2 in each arm, for example. But you might find another variant that instead of energy weapon hard points, it's got hard points for missiles or something like that instead. So even though they'd both be called Jenners, they might be a fair bit different. But yeah, this thing here just runs way too hot. So what I'm going to do is, it also has like no armor, which, I mean, so this is the armor that you've got in all these body parts. For the torsos, they've got a front and rear armor. And you can see they're only like, some of them are less than half their full capacity. So I'm going to remove the short-range missiles over here, which frees up 3 tons, so we can put up a bit more energy. It also means that a full salvo. The thing is, we have all these weapons, but we can't realistically fire every weapon every round. We're just going to overheat. So if we can't fire every weapon anyway, why have all of the weapons? I'm going to pull off another medium laser over here. And if we do that, I mean, we're still going to run fairly hot. We sink 30 still, because we haven't had any heat sinks, and firing all our weapons generates 36 heat. Plus, if we move around or jump or whatever, we'll generate a bit more. So this is still going to run fairly hot. It may have to take some downtime every now and again, but it won't be as often. And in exchange for that, we've dramatically increased how much armor we've got on this bad boy. So we're going to be a lot more sturdy, and I like this right away. Right. There we go. It was a short job, so it was able to do it just like on the same day. Some mech repair jobs and modification jobs can take many days before it happens. And, you know, we got a bit of a time limit, plus we got bills to pay. We've got a Commando over here, which is only a 25-ton mech. It's kind of a cool, fun design, but we're probably not going to be prioritizing running it. Oh, one of the things I think that came out of 1.3 is we finally have the ability to sort our mech bay here. Very cool. And then we've got a Spider here, which is loaded with 8 frickin' jump jets and then just 2 medium lasers. The Spider is extremely mobile. I don't know if it needs to be done mobile. We could consider doing a little bit of a redesign. Although it only has 2 energy hardpoints anyway in its chest. That's it. It does have 2 hardpoints for support weapons, which in the BattleTech computer game includes small lasers, machine guns, things like that. It also has like no armor. It has to really depend on its mobility. I'm actually tempted to rip off 2 jump jets and just putting a little bit more armor on here. But you know what? Let's leave it. It's fine. What could go wrong? The Panther 9R is very nice. This is, even in tabletop, this is a great little mech. It comes loaded with a PPC, particle projector cannon, very, very potent weapon. Long range, deals 50 damage, and debuffs people because it screws up their sensors. We've also got some short range missiles thrown in there. And it's got a decent amount of armor as a base. The Panthers probably our best little pick over here. Anyway, we've got that. Engineering, we could start some ship upgrade projects over here. They're kind of expensive, but it might be worth throwing something in immediately. We can go and get some repair scaffolding put in. It's going to cost us $250,000 C-bills over here, but it's going to give us more tech points, and tech points mean faster repairs as we go forward, which is pretty nice. Could also be nice to put in some sort of recreation lounge to keep the morale up, which does affect combat a fair bit. I think we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and start the repair scaffolding. I think it's going to be a good investment. We're going to have to be very careful with our funds, especially right at the beginning. Funds stop being a problem to a certain extent once you get a little bit rolling, but it can be very dicey at first. But I think we'll appreciate having this. It will take several days to install the repair scaffolding, but we'll be happy to have it. In terms of navigation, I mean, we can take a look at the star map over here and see everywhere we can go. Oh, we actually started way in the top right corner over here in territory owned by the Federated Suns. And then over here, there's territory owned by the Taurian Concordate, and here the Urano Restoration, Capella Confederation, and so on and so forth. And these are all, there's some independent systems over here. Some of them are abandoned, but some of them, yeah, it's just a local government, not part of a bigger group. Different systems have different traits. This affects what kind of loot you can find and things like that. Different systems have different challenge as well. The system we're in right now has a challenge about half a skull, so they're going to be fairly easy missions, which is going to be important, or they're going to be fairly like lightweight missions. You know, having a mech lance mostly made up of light mechs is going to be okay here. For the others, you really need much beefier mechs to be able to handle it. Is this game all about war? Well, kind of, yeah. So let's take a contract over here. So these are all the contracts available in the current system. So either half a skull or a full skull over here. Humanitarians. You know the old joke, right? Vegetarians are people who eat vegetables. Beware of someone who calls himself a humanitarian. What's the landscape? Lowlands, deserts, badlands, desert. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of hot missions, and I'm really happy I cooled down that. Was it the Jenner that was too hot? I think it was the Jenner that was too hot. So different missions can offer different amount of money, different amount of salvage as well, which is often one of the things. I think we're gonna want to start with a half skull mission. So this would be a straight up battle. This is an escort mission. This I have to ambush a convoy. Honestly, these are really tricky in the current state of the game, and with my mods and things like that. It can be very hard to finish off the convoy before they escape. One man's art, yeah, you recover some art pieces. It's actually not, it's a fairly easy mission. It might be a good one to start. It would also be really nice. This is another escort. It would be nice if we had a targeted kill mission, an assassination, because usually the target of your assassination is running a beefier, scarier mech. But that's, you know, much more rewarding. So you want to work for the pirates until you get to the black market. Well, we'll see. Anyway, here's a pirate mission, so what the hell? Let's do some pirate missions over here. It doesn't pay much, but it offers a lot of salvage, which is going to be good. And you can slide. Like the numbers here, these are the max, so we could go full money, 80 grand. We'd still get 2 pieces of salvage, but we wouldn't be able to pick it. Or we go all the way around here, we'd get 14 total pieces of salvage, and we'd be able to choose 3. Probably I want that. If we get really lucky, we might be able to get 3 pieces for a mech. Right now I've got it set up. You still just need 3 pieces for a mech, but what I'll probably do, and I do have to adjust the config file from one of the mods to do this, is make it so the bigger mechs need more pieces or something like that. It's not going to matter right now, so we'll do that. If I do this, the pirates will like me more, but the Taurian Concordate will like me less. This is an early mission. There's not going to be a lot of sexy mechs. Honestly, this is probably going to be more salvage than actually makes sense, but the difference between 7 grand and 25 grand basically means nothing to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for the 3 of 14 salvage. That's going to be okay. The other thing, you can accept less reward to get more reputation. That's also an option. So we'll choose our mechs. We'll grab the Vindicator, that Jenner that I modified, the Panther, which is awesome, and probably the Spider. Although, this is a desert biome. I'm actually tempted to bring the Commando here because it does have ridiculously good heat efficiency. Well, it still doesn't sink everything because the Alpha Strike is still more heat than it can sink. But well, I guess the difference, 2 medium lasers versus the Commando's actually got more weaponry. It's got a large laser, a medium laser, and a SMERM. Oh, but it doesn't have any jump jets. That's the deal with the Commando here. It's got a lot more firepower, but it doesn't have the jump jets. I do like jump jets for mobility. But on a recovery mission, you know what? I will grab the Commando. And then I'm going to pilot the biggest mech because I'm me. So, and then Kane, Dansku, and Jebediah. No, we'll leave Jebediah at home. You know what? We'll leave me at home. Screw that. Jebediah is going to pilot the biggest mech. He's got the mutton chops, so he gets to pilot the biggest mech. Done. And I'll just sit at home. That's going to be okay. I'll manage things from the office. I knew I was getting the Jenner. It's fine. Kane, man, Jenner's a good mech. Especially, I like tabletop. Really enjoy them, actually. It's funny, because in tabletop, they don't, I think Jenners can't torso twist. Which isn't something that's simulated in this game, so it doesn't matter. Clearly, I need a freaking haircut. Oh my god. We had a whole conversation about this on Saturday. Here we go. This is how we're streaming now. I should have just, like, gotten some hair product and just made a mohawk or something. It's just being weighed down now, so it looks, I don't know. I'm gonna obsess about this every single stream until I finally get a haircut. Problem is, it's too goddamn cold to, like, go outside right now. I don't want to go anywhere. It was minus 37 degrees this morning. And at that point, it doesn't matter if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit, although it was Celsius, because it's basically exactly the same. Ludicrous.
Hey, nice wasteland we got here.
All right, so we got our map over here. We've got somewhere over here, we've got to recover a painter and ideally his painting as well to get maximum bonus rewards, which sounds fine. With the mods I've got, it does a really nice job about it'll be especially prevalent, I think, when we get to the roads, like highlighting some of the terrain and stuff like that. Right now, we just got to march in that general direction. We're not in sort of turn-by-turn combat mode. I do tend to like hang on to the edges of the map as much as possible as we approach the target because it tends to be a little safer. This map, wow, this map, I'm really unhappy about this landscape. There's not going to be a lot of forest to hide in. We're going to be having to approach this big elevated site. And we're playing on a hot map. And a lot of times early on, you face a lot of enemies that have like flamers and stuff.
On my way.
And I'm kind of concerned about this.
Moving.
Let's try to stick together for now. The map is a jerk. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, this map is a jerk. This is not happy times. So our Panther is one of our slower mechs, although it has jump jets. So this is sort of gonna. Oh, enemy contact. Okay, right over there. So when we finish, right now we're still in this sort of like move mode as opposed to like a true combat mode. When we finish moving all of our mechs, we'll go into true combat mode at that point. I think we can just sort of keep advancing for now. And with the cover over here, I'm gonna go ahead and move the Jenner all the way there.
On my way.
Did it with the Commando. I really wish I had I brought the Spider instead of Commando now, because this is a map that could really benefit from jump jets. Okay, so now we're in combat mode. The game is played out in phases. The faster your mech, the sooner you operate. So light mechs operate before heavy mechs. Light mechs operate in phase 4. You can have a pilot perk and a variety of different things that can sometimes give you a phase 5 action. And the white pips are me. You can see I have one white pip in phase 3. That's our that's Jebediah here in the Vindicator, because he's a medium mech, and we know that a couple of enemies are going to play on this phase. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reserve here. All my phase 4 mechs, we're just going to wait until phase 3. We're going to let these guys move up a little bit more, because probably they can't get a shot as is, and even if they do, I've just been sprinting, so I've got a lot of evasion pips, so I feel pretty secure letting them take an action. I've got them on sensors, they've got me on sensors.
Reporting enemy contact.
And they might show themselves. Interesting. I think I'm gonna do another reserve phase, just in case they had any phase 3 mechs. I want them to move forward so that I could see more, but okay. See, I don't like the fact that we're gonna be encountered from multiple sides here.
Good to go.
This Panther, okay. So the Panther here's got a PPC, which is really good. It is a direct line weapon. This purple line, I have a mod that makes it clear. This purple line means it's going to be an obstructed shot. If we were to land here, there's a little bit of obstruction, so that gives you a penalty to hit. But might be okay. The thing is, if I land right over here, I get an unobstructed shot of whatever the hell this is. The Panther is going to be in a fairly exposed location, but I'll have 2 pips of evasion, which is pretty good, and I can always jump into the forest next turn. I feel relatively okay with starting with this move.
Got
And
it.
for facing, I'm going to sort of generally face this way to minimize the chance I'll be hit in the back. Okay, that is an enemy mech. It's another Jenner. This one here is loaded with 4 medium lasers. Okay. I only have a 42% chance to hit here, and even if I do, this guy's guarded, so he's only going to take... he's going to take 20% less. Still, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the shot, even though it'll generate a bunch of heat. Yeah, I'll do it.
Roger.
Every time you take a shot at someone, whether you hit or miss, it does remove 1 pip of their evasion, which does make subsequent
Negative
shots a
damage.
little easier to land.
Repeat. Negative damage.
Oh, hey, it's Morphium in chat. Hey, Morphium. Where is you? There you are. I don't know what you're linking to, Morph. But I'm not running Road Tech, but I am running some of your mods. Well, you can see the mod list in the thing. Morph does a lot of awesome modding for the game. So again, I could jump here and get an obstructed shot. The thing is, if this guy's a vehicle, and I don't know what this sensor pip is, it'd be great. I could have pilots with higher skill for that can give him a sensor lock, which will let you, like, I'd be able to put a little tag on this guy, I'd be able to see him, and we'd be able to take indirect shots as well, which is what this dashed orange line represents. My long-range missiles on this Vindicator can fire indirectly, even without line of sight. If it's a vehicle, vehicles are they're fairly squishy, they're fairly easy to kill. They can still bring a lot of firepower, especially with the JK variants mods I'm running. That being said, I kind of feel like I'm just going to keep taking... Oh, that's still a really low chance to hit. Okay,
What can I
who's
do
next?
for you?
You know what? Wait, that wouldn't get line of sight here? Really? What if I jump? Okay, jumping on the hill here is pretty good. I'm going to be in the woods, which will give me partial cover. It's a little risky. Kane and the Jenner will be somewhat exposed to maybe lots of attacks.
Here we go.
But a good set of defenses, and will give us vision, so we know what the hell's going on over here. And indeed, we've got vehicles. We've got a Scorpion LRM, so it's got a couple of different racks of long-range missiles, and we've got a SMERM version here with the short-range missiles. Both equally a little bit risky. These are pretty low-tech vehicles, though. They're shoddy. They have less armor than they would normally have. I think I'm going to go ahead and fire on the SMERM, and... No, that's not ideal. Oh, but we kill it. Vehicles in general are usually squishier. Sometimes there are vehicles with shite tons of armor. What you want to do with those guys is you want to melee them instead, because mechs do double damage to vehicles in melee. They just step on them, so it's fine. Okay, so Jebediah and the Vindicator now could set up some sort of indirect shot against this LRM, but we're unlikely to get a kill. So instead, I'll just move over here, and it's a pretty low chance to hit, but I think I'm still going to go and take a shot over here. We are going to generate a fair amount of heat with the jump and then PPC and the LRMs, but we'll go ahead and try to hit this Jenner. Bam! Hey, wait, no, this is not a Rogue Tech mod, although it's got some of the same things. Sometimes Rogue Tech is like, I don't know, like last time I just tried setting up last week and it was like, oh, it's really slow, but I wasn't on the latest version. Well, I was on the latest version at the time, but there's been another update since then, and I might have had something set up wrong. So it looks like Nallard, oh, you can reach a shot over here, never mind. It's gonna be partially obstructed, and it's only 35% chance, but Nallard's not gonna, with just a large laser, he's not gonna generate much heat. I'm gonna take the shot anyway.
Target acquired.
Yeah, oh well.
Hey, that's not.
I do like
that's
LRM missile boats, Bjorn. They're a lot of fun. What I'm probably gonna do for my Lance design, and my, oh, there we go, taking some shots on Kane's Jenner here, is probably go and do something where like half my mechs are gonna be closer up and half of them are gonna be artillery. and just sort of balance it that way. It's not necessarily optimal for whatever reason, but it's kind of cool. Now,
Commander?
I've got 3 like mechs that can act in this round. I would love to go and take a whack at the Jenner here before he moves, because once he moves, he'll get his evasion pips back. But I also really have to probably get my own Jenner out of the fire range here. Between this guy, that guy, these guys over here, anything with lerms are going to do bad things to us. So, I was hoping I could somehow hop down and take a shot at this Jenner from my Jenner, but it looks like it's not going to be the case. I think it's probably wise to jump away here. I could potentially go and just soak an extra attack at this point. I mean, the Jenner's not really damaged. He still has 2 pips of evasion, and he's still in the forest. Okay, I'll start with the Panther here instead.
Yes, Commander.
These are still not great chances to hit. That's a little better, but I don't like not being in the forest. You know what? I'll do this. I don't remember when he clears his sensor interference, so that he's got sensors impaired from being hit by a PPC. If it clears at the end of his turn, and let's assume he acts next, I'm going to want to PPC him after this. So I'll start with the Commando. Shoot him. Consider doing some called shots soon. Oh, we did crit him in one of the medium lasers. Medium laser only has 1 crit slot, so that gun should be out of commission. And I do have Pilot Panic or Pilot Morale, I don't remember what the mod is called, installed, where as mechs take damage, pilots have to make rolls to see if they start to get fatigued, start to get panicked, to start to get... I think there's 3 levels. And it also gives them a chance to decide to just bug out. Where they hit their eject button and eject from their mechs. My mech pilots can do that, their mech pilots can do that. I think it adds a really valuable level of realism, and removes a little bit of the tedium that can happen in some of these fights. Alright, I guess we'll do this. Actually, hold on. Now's the time to get the Jenner. He's lost another pip of evasion. I'm just going to go ahead and hop down. I guess I can take a shot now, but it'd be pretty low. I think I'll hop down here. We might hop up there next. I'm just going to hop down, and I'm just going to brace here. So we're not going to get a shot. It's a bit of a wasted action, but it does give us a chance to burn off the heat, which is still an important thing to do in this biome here. Oh, is Moobot being the dumb again? Dead mate?
Commander.
Man. Alright, our Panther here. I want to get a good angle. PPC does have a minimum range, and the SRMs are fairly short range, so the overlap can be hard to get. Yeah, see, you just went and became super evasive again. Let me just delay for a turn here. Because he's already gone, my Panther can't do anything else. I'm just going to reserve to another phase and see if there's something else we want to do with the Panther. But yeah, it's annoying that their Jenner was able to get all of its evasion pips again.
Skipper.
Ready for orders.
Really annoying with this guy. I wish I could get a melee on him. Suppose, ooh, that is not good terrain. I was hoping I'd be able to jump into the woods here, because then there are some shots there, but I could engage some of the vehicles with my PPC, but I don't want to be in the open, especially with a mech behind me. I suppose I could def from above him, but first of all, our chance to land that is only 50-50, so that's no good. So I'm going to save my heat from the jump jets.
Yup.
What about you? You can come up here. This is my medium mech with the most armor. We'll have tons of pips, and we'll be into the forest. All right, let's send Jebediah up here.